My job and my joy is to write. Borrow from everything that occurs to me. In the early stages, write down anything, even if it's bad. And my old teacher and friend Marvin Bell used to say, wrote once, the business of being a writer is being less and less embarrassed about more and more. I was raised on English poetry and then French poetry and then came to American poetry. And I bless the day I had those teachers in an English Catholic high school who would teach us Chaucer and Byron and Wordsworth and Molière, and they were in me. So a serious writer, quote unquote, is a serious reader and reads everything. T.S. Eliot says, for all the love we have of the old literature, there's something about the writing of one's own time that is peculiarly exciting. You constellated something that hadn't been constellated before. Constellate is a word I like a lot. Jung uses it. He says events constellate in the psyche. Denise Levertov uses it. You get to put things together in new ways. To me, the poems I love, the hundreds of poems that are revolving, orbiting inside, are like, have the status of Scripture. They are equivalent to Scripture to me. And I think that those three, poetry, prose, and prayer, are fingers of the same hand. They're all a kind of listening, and they're all a kind of a giving back. Writing words for music is like building a boat, not a house. You build it strong and buoyant, but lighter. So when the music comes, it will lift the words. If you build heavy, and sometimes on the page you want heavy, then when the water comes, it will just flood the house. And then I also say, and most words for music on the page are about as interesting as boats on sand. They're not in the element they were made for. The oratorio, to be certain of the dawn, which is a quote that Stephen Paulus chose from some things I gave him written by Rabbi Heschel. And in a program note for the oratorio at Orchestra Hall, I said, these are the deepest waters my boats have ever been privileged to float upon. I mean, Holy God, who found no strength in us to be your power, is one thing. When it's sung by 200 voices with those harmonies, it sends shivers down your spine. I think that's the thing that interests me so much more than when I was young. I was out to express myself. And a friend at college said to me, Jared Galloway said, Michael, you won't move people with your sorrows, you'll move them with their own. And I think of reality often as a large part of the content of reality is noticing and witnessing the lives very different from one's own of other people. Dylan Thomas calls a poem a contribution to reality. And there are realities in our time that are unprecedented. This age has never been before. So we are witnesses. And it's our job to use language as, in my case, rhythmically as possible, as memorably as possible, to say what it's like to be here now.